My name is Mark Yeend. I'm from Shrapnel, based in Seattle, Washington. Raise your hand if you've heard of Shrapnel. Just want to know who I'm talking to. Yeah? Okay. It's a first-person shooter game for PC. Early access comes out toward the end of this year. We're on the Avalanche chain, obviously, with our own subnet. The reason we did that is so that we could customize and configure the performance for that AAA gamers expect, hardcore competitive gamers expect, high uptime, minimum downtime, super low latency, and that's why we chose this subnet. So I'm the head of marketing and community, so I'm not a technical guy, so forgive me, any programmers who I may offend during the course of this talk. This is a case study of how we grew our community over the last 14 to 15 months from zero humans and a pitch deck to what we have today. And what we have today is about 230,000 different touch points across social media, people who are fans of the game and can't wait for it to come out. So these slides are going to take us through some different efforts that we did, why we did them, and what results we did. This is not a brag session, this is insights. So some things we did failed horribly, and some were gangbuster successes. So here we go. In the beginning, 6 founders and a dream. Luckily, our CEO is really good at making PowerPoint decks, and it was his vision that became Shrapnel. Basically, the pitch deck and the pedigree of the founders, the experience that we have, got us greenlit with some seed funding. And the first thing we did is start a Discord and start a Twitter account. It's funny because just a few months after the seed funding came in, one of our lead investors in the seed round, Pierre from Griffin, was like, "I'm at NFT NYC, man. Where's your Twitter account? Where's your Twitter account?" I'm like, "Dude, the check just cleared. Give us a minute." So we started Twitter right away. The other thing we did that was really key is hire a PR agency, because what I saw as the top of the funnel for user acquisition was PR. Let's get some press about the game and what it's going to be, and we'll get some new eyeballs that haven't ever heard of us before. And it's hitting, hopefully, people that are not just maxis, degens, people who are knee-deep in the Web3 culture, but it's a broad community of people who care about AAA gaming first and foremost. Great. The next thing we did, let's see here. OK, we're a bunch of gamers, like a bunch of game makers. I've been making video games for 25 years. Not coming from the blockchain scene, not coming from the Web3 tech side of the house. So we thought early on, we need to reward our early community, establish some early guidelines for a foundational community, and we started with 2,000 PFPs on the Avalanche chain that we call Echo Company. And we gave these to our most deserving, most positive people in our Discord community, just to say, hey, you deserve something, and we're going to pay attention to you from now on. And we still do to this day. We have special communications with them. We're very transparent with them. On good days and bad days in our studio, we say, hey, Echo Company, here's what happened in the studio today. And we try to create that nice deep bond. Like in the previous talk, they were talking about how kind of culture is everything, and connecting with other people is everything. That's turned out to be true for us. But we got some tech prowess under our feet, and we also kind of set down some roots in Discord. The next thing we did was a white paper and a website. So this was harder than it sounds for us. I don't know about you guys, but raise your hand if you've ever struggled to write a white paper. It's tricky. It's tricky. How much do you say? How much do you not say? How much do we know to be true a year from now? There's a bunch of needles to thread there. And then the website is something that we wanted to establish a premium brand. We wanted to say, hey, we're a AAA game studio. We're not an 8-bit side scroller. We're not a JPEG trading game. We are, for realsies, AAA first-person shooter game for people who are fans of Battlefield, or Call of Duty, or CSGO, or Escape from Tarkov. That's the audience we're trying to hit. And we wanted to express that on our website. This bottom bit, this learnings, this is something we debate in the studio leadership a lot. Like, hey, there's one thing, like my marketing instincts are to hype it, hype it, hype it. Let's say it's going to be the bee's knees, and let's say it's going to be the next, sliced bread. You cannot do that. It's way better to be honest and under-promise or be transparent about what you don't know, because what that will do is build some loyalty and build some trust, and people will stick around beyond the hype. If you just, buy a bunch of splashy ads or say a bunch of things that people think they want to hear, your audience is going to go away really quickly. All right. Another thing we did in Discord early on was community voting. So for in-game assets, we let our Discord community decide what some of our assets, what some of our iconic key foundational assets in the game are going to look like, and what they're going to be called, and what they want to see built first. We might, as a team, we might know that we're going to build 2 or 3 different things, but which one does Discord want to see first? Or which one is your favorite? It's a way to gauge community sentiment. It's a way to get people to stick around. It's a way to keep them hoping for the next moment to participate. And also, a lot of our Discord and Twitter fans want to know how games are made. I've shipped more than 75 video games. I know a little bit about how they're made. And when people ask me, like, hey, when game, people, I have a good answer, and I know why it's not yet. Yeah, the other thing we learned is that our community is super talented. There's some artists, there's some writers, some fiction writers, and they can't wait for an outlet. They want to participate. And we can leverage that, not only to make our product better, to make sure that what we ship is something they want. All right, running low on time. So this talk is a little bit about the context of a bear market while we're trying to grow a community. This was a nightmare. This summertime season, when we were about to launch a series of NFTs we were going to charge real money for, this was scary, scary times. And we had no idea if we were going to sell out. We knew that selling out quick would be a sign of health for our product. And this is the context we were working with when we launched Operators NFTs. So this was in June. And in June, luckily, we went super hard on this collection. We built it in Unreal Engine 5. We used metahuman technology to make them look as realistic as our in-game models are going to look. We used physically based rendering. We used in-game dynamic lighting. These are all static images, but they're rendered in a 3D game engine. And people responded to that. The audience that we're trying to target responded well to that. So they're also evocative. They look super tough. They look like they're set in the near future. All the things we wanted to convey. So what we did is we had a 5-week campaign with 5 different operators characters. Every week we're on the front page of OpenSea. This was minted on Ethereum. The reason we did that, I know this is an Avalanche Summit, the reason we did Ethereum blockchain for this promotional NFT is to invite people in. Invite people where they're already transacting and give them a reason to come in and pay attention to our Avalanche game. We're going to build all of our in-game NFTs on Avalanche. Our Shrap token is minted on Avalanche. But the reason we do promotional NFTs on other chains is to invite people in. Okay. People were freaking out. Our biz dev team in the summertime were like, it's been 3 hours, we're not minted out yet, oh my God. And I was like, take it easy. The value is super strong. They look super amazing. In this context, we're going to get there. We are going to make it. And we kept calm, and we stuck to our plan, and we indeed minted out. We sold out 5 weeks in a row, 10,000 supply at 0.05 ETH. All right. One of the first ways we delivered value to the holders of Operators NFT was to make some comic books. Comic books they seem easy to make. They're not so easy. It takes great writers, talented editors, people who know the fictional world of the product we're making in the franchise. And we hired artists from Italy to Los Angeles and some luminaries in the business, and we got some really excellent product out of this. We gave them to the holders of the Operators NFTs, 1 comic book per character if they held that character of Operator. So 5 Operators characters, 5 comic books, each told a chapter in the life of that fictional soldier in our game world. What we learned after the fact is that we kind of did it the hard way. We ended up designing the mint with rarity and exclusives and an animated cover and an alt cover variant and an ashcan issue and all these things were minted on chain. We did not have to do all that. we did not need to work that hard. We could have made 5 books, gave them away, and been done with it, but we went to all this extra trouble. The upside is that we were able to use these beautiful assets, because each book is 20 pages, so we have 100 pages of full-color art related to the game that we've been reusing and re-promoting and tweeting and just like captioning and recaptioning and re-engaging our audience, reusing these assets. Then we had our trailer. CG trailer was a big moment. Our biz dev team came to our CEO and said, our pitches, we're dying here. We need something tangible. We need something to get them super excited and believe this game is real. So our CEO, Mark Long, wrote and storyboarded this trailer, which turned out amazing. And we hired a CG company in Australia, including the stunt team from John Wick and the sound design team from John Wick, and the results were fantastic, out of this world. It's more than 2 minutes long, and it won a bunch of awards. And even though it only grew our social feed by about 10 or 15K in the first week or two, it kickstarted our YouTube channel, and it's still the most highly engaged piece of content we have here. And that was in October, okay? So now we're 6 months later. Yeah, and I do believe that if we hadn't done this, we probably wouldn't be alive today. We would have gone away. So super happy we spent that money and made this asset, and it turned out great. Okay, 1 more minute, and then I'm going to start a little video. At the end of the year, we said, hey, why not submit for some awards? There's some awards coming out. We ended up winning some awards. We got very fortunate. We had a lot of support. We also re-released a short film that we had produced earlier in the year, and that got accepted to some film festivals and things like that. So again, expanding the transmedia idea behind Shrapnel, whereas the story is told between the pieces of media. Certain slices are told in comics, certain slices of the narrative are told in the video game, certain pieces are told in the film. We tried some in-region agencies. Some went well, and some didn't. I would say if there's marketing people in here, be careful. Do your due diligence, ask the hard questions, do a small test run before you spend big money. This is something that, like, one of these agencies did well for us, and one of them did not do well. So once bitten, twice shy on that one. The biggest Twitter grower was the Sigma Containment Unit free mint. It was an innovative triple chain mint, 10,000 supply. Operators got first on the allow list. Other people had contests to qualify for the allow list. We have a third of them on Avalanche, a third of them on Polygon, and a third of them on Ethereum. And one is on Avalanche as well. This went so well. This was an exclusive on Magic Eden. We grew 70,000 on Twitter. All right. We showed the game live for the first time at Consensus. I might just skip the video and talk to the slides. Is that OK? The Game Developers Conference has 25,000 game developers and executives and investors and journalists around the game industry in San Francisco every year. We took the game there and showed it behind closed doors, and we got some amazing media attention out of it. Super glad we did that. Last week, we were in Austin, Texas, showing the game live, an 8-player, multiplayer live LAN party in our booth. It was the most popular booth of the show. It was so popular that they moved the beer trolley in front of our booth. I think that's a good sign. I'm taking it as one. What else? This was an amazing amount of work. OK, so now what do we have? Now we're looking at each other saying, oh, we got some things on Ethereum, and we have some things on Polygon, and we have some things on Avalanche. What do we do with all this? You can call it luck, or you could call it genius. But what we have now is a tech stack that bridges between chains. And what we're doing is proving that as a case study. So tomorrow at 3:50 p.m., I think it's in this exact room, our head of platform, Mark McCurry, will describe the Shrapnel tech stack and why this is valuable to our gamers and why this can work for any other product. OK? Super, super exciting. Is that it? Oh, OK. I don't think I have time for the video. But I can play it, and you can cut me off when I'm done, or go into the break. But thank you. Network with me after the thing. You know, let's meet, let's talk, and thank you for your time.
Security type, please. Approaching extraction.